Hello, hello. Welcome to accountability call number 21. If you are new here, we are, Black women. We're business owners. We're mothers in our own right. And as you can tell, we're juggling a lot of things. Okay. We are trying to grow ourselves and grow our businesses. And we come here every week, every Monday at 10ish to talk about what we've done, what we've achieved, the things that we've been able to complete in the last week and hold each other accountable because we know that when all of the things are happening, it's very easy to just let things slide by the wayside and just give up and stop doing it and just say it's too much or it's impossible or, give yourself all the excuses. So we are here to eliminate our own excuses from each other so we can get the things done. Okay. Welcome. Welcome. How are you ladies today?
What does that mean,
We got
Eve?
a new member. We have a new member here.
Hi, guys. So it's nice to meet you. So glad to be here. My name is Nicole. You can call me Nikki for short.
Okay.
I'm filling in for Zenitra for a little while. So I'm excited to be here and to chat with you guys. She told me a lot.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us.
So thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. It's great to have you here. Yes.
Oh, you boss, I'm left eye and that's his chili.
There we go.
Honey. Yes. Z is on her way to Carnival and she's getting ready. Okay.
Listen,
Ready. And she has a new do to take with her.
my goals for the week gonna look a lot different than it has in the past.
Yes, yes.
Come on, somebody.
Yes.
Earned, okay?
Yes.
But I'm feeling good.
That carnival. Girl, you gonna sweat that hairdo out in 0.25 seconds.
Listen, honey. No.
This is why I use somebody else's hair.
Yes. Yes, ain't gotta worry about sweating it out.
A little blow dry, baby. We right back in the game.
Yes, right back.
Love
Eve,
it.
how are you feeling this Monday?
I feel really good right now. It's really great. I love it so much. I love y'all. I am feeling like, wow, it's February. My mother's birthday was yesterday, so that was interesting. I did reach out to her.
I didn't know she was also an Aquarius.
Yes, she is.
Oh, Jesus.
So yeah, that was pretty nice to chat with my mom and stuff like that. So yeah, it was. I feel like it was equal balance of doing my work, and I spent the weekend making sure to walk and be outside.
Come on, outside.
Yeah, right. Hello. But no, I'm actually feeling really good. I'm certainly receiving and receiving certainly.
I love it. I'm feeling good this morning. Even though I'm here with two munchkins again. But I feel very much in control of the day today, whereas usually I feel like it's spiraling out of control. I slept in late because I did not go to bed last night, y'all. I mean, I did, but it was the time I was supposed to go to bed. So, but I'm feeling okay. Like we've done I've decided we're gonna do some activities today that do and don't involve mama. So they had quiet reading time before our meeting today. We had breakfast. They had a marching band earlier today. I'm probably gonna let them play Play-Doh. Right now they're watching TV, Daniel Tiger, which is educational. So I'm gonna try to get them to, own their own play. These kids today want you to play with them all the time.
Girl.
Okay.
Like we don't have real jobs and real things.
What? I don't have to play with me all the time. Okay. Play. You got a sister. Sister. So that's what we're gonna try to get done today. So yes. So anybody learn anything last week that they want to share? Reflections on something that might be helpful for somebody who is on this entrepreneurial journey?
It's so crazy. This last week feels like forever ago, but one of the things that I think like a shift that I noticed in myself is just releasing anxiety, like not even going to get anxious. I don't know if I've shared here before, but trying to figure out the right school for my daughter has been quite the conundrum.
Mm.
So, at this point, we're probably on month like 5 or 6 and school number 3 or something. I don't know. But when I realized there needed to be, some things happened and there needed to be another shift, for the first time, I didn't feel like that angst of like, oh my gosh, what is happening? And it's just like, all right, what we got to do? Who do I call? Who can I ask for help? What steps do I need to take? And then taking those steps and then just like letting it be. And I feel like, I think entrepreneurship has helped in the sense that you have to take action whether you're anxious, afraid, or not. Your bills are dependent on it. So past the emotion, or not even being as easily triggered into the emotion, I think was the biggest learning. Not even something that I learned last week, but something that I feel like I put into action last week. And it has helped a ton, even just like approaching Monday. So like some natural angst that I normally have on Mondays, like it's just not there. And it doesn't mean that I have any less to do this week than I have any other weeks. In fact, prepping for a international trip where you're going to be gone for 2 weeks and you have 2 kids and you're transferring responsibilities to the village. One person, like, that to-do list is just as long. But today I don't have that angst. And I think I felt that last week. I had some really big stressors come up, and just to be like, all right, okay, situation's not ideal. So what do we got to do to fix it? So that feels like growth and evolution, which is part of learning. So
it's so funny because there's a guy that I watch here on YouTube named Quasi, an Indian guy. He talks about identity shifting. And one of the things that he said was, as you're shifting from like being an employee to an entrepreneur, one of the things that you have to get really comfortable with doing is removing the emotions from the roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
Right. And like, just when the situations come up, like allowing yourself to be in them physically, but not necessarily in them emotionally.
Correct.
Right. Because it shifts and this is like an even longer thing, but like he talks about how your life is a mirror of your internal state. Right. And so the more your internal state is chaotic or up and down, up and down, up and down, your life is going to be up and down, up and down, up and down. Right. Okay. So, but if you can, even in the midst of life, maintain a certain state of peace, a certain state of feeling in control, a certain state of feeling empowered, then eventually your life will start to look like that. Right. You will feel more in control. You will feel more powerful, even in the midst of the things. Right. And so I think that what I have seen that to be very true. In that even in the, the things that are going on, if you start to remove the emotion from it, then when it comes up again, it doesn't feel like this all the time. It's just like, okay, here we are again. On to the next thing. Like, so I absolutely agree with that. Like, and last year I was like, this was me all last year. Like,
yeah.
Honey, and then it trailed off like this at the end of the year.
Right.
But in 2024, like I am really looking forward to being a lot more stabilized, even in the midst of all of the roller coasters of adulting and entrepreneurship in general.
Yeah.
So
beautiful way to put it.
Yes.
Yes.
One of the things that I learned last week was so this is what happened. So I was watching one of our mutual friends, actually a friend of mine through Z, Sharia's booked camp on Facebook. And some of the things she was talking about around content creation and that type of stuff, I was like, oh, these are good ideas. And so as I was writing them down, something was like, this feels very familiar. Like, so I go in my little Google Drive, look up my my brand template that I made in 2020. And the stuff was already in it. Like I was literally writing out my brand. Like I was like, okay, I need, these are my pillars and these are my, and as I was writing, I was like, this seems familiar. Honey, I go back, honey, that joint was wrote out in 2020. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, so my lesson was do the things, okay? Just execute on the things, right? Like, don't look for any more new ideas. Do not learn, learn the things that you have to learn to go to the next step. But in the things that you're implementing now, like, I already know what to implement. I just need to go and implement the things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this was from my marketing coach in 2020. And there were a few things that were different, but a lot of it was the same. And a lot of it also was the same as my current business coach. Right. And I was just like, okay, Inez, like, this is confirmation. Like, this part of it, we don't have to learn anymore on this part. We just need to implement.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when it comes to, sales, there are things that we are learning, right? But this, we just need to implement. And then the thing about the implementation is continue to do it till you feel really good at it. Because one of the things that my business coach was talking about, she was like, y'all asked me about how I sell so easily, or sell so easily in my store. She's like, I've been doing it for 5 years.
Right.
Straight. Like, she's like, I'm never not selling. Like, so I have learned how to just do it so easily just because I keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I think we've talked about this before, is the reps, like getting your reps in, like, because it's not going to feel comfortable. It's not going to feel easy, right, or second nature until you get your reps in. So I was just like, okay, this is just another reminder. Just continue to get your reps in. Don't even worry about learning. Go back to the drawing board. Go clean. Go get your files out. You already have all the things. Read them and then implement them. Like, period. So that was my lesson for the week.
Well, I hope you also give yourself some grace in that you did then what you needed to do to prepare you for now.
Well, that's
right. Like, the fact that you like, well, if I would have just kept going, I would have. I mean, you didn't say that, but I heard it.
but I heard it.
Just did the thing and kept doing it, I'd be 5 years in by now, right? So, and the same thing happened to me. So whenever I hired our digital marketing designer, whenever I hired her, she was kind of like, oh, like, what's your brand? Are there any specific colors? And I was like, oh my gosh, I hadn't thought about this. To your point, I went back to my email when she had asked me about some colors. I was telling her colors that I like. And there was something that she said that, again, triggered, like, oh, I think I've done this before. So same, actually, circle. So one of my friends that I met through Sharia, same person,
that's
but
funny.
Ariane does branding. And so years ago, 2018 probably, I went through her branding course, and she gave me like a brand packet that had like the colors with the actual numbers that I'm supposed to use and like all of that stuff. And so I was like, oh, I'm just going to send this to Ellie. And I sent it to her. Now, granted, at that point, I was at a different stage, right? Like, I had a different name that I was going under, like, and I had done all of this work that it didn't move forward in the way that I thought that it would then, but now it was very relevant, and then I was able to move and keep moving forward. So do what's on your to-do list now. And to your point, in the places where you can get those reps in, then get them in, but also don't beat yourself up if you're like, man, I already did this and I forgot about it. That is actually part of it, because it doesn't go A, B, C, D. It go A, 3 pound, circle.
Gotcha.
4, go back and do 2, right? Like, don't beat yourself up thinking that you didn't go from A to B when, like, you did other things to get you where you are. And it's good to have those triggers and be like, oh shoot, I'm actually further ahead than I realized, because I can go back and use something that I did before.
Yeah. Well, and I also realized, like, I'm implementing some of it, but not all of it, right? And so it was a reminder, like, oh, like, yeah, we also supposed to be doing these things over here too. Just, so I put them in my little sign. I was like, okay, these are the things we're moving forward with. We already got 1, 2, to your point, we got 1, 2, or 3. Hashtag is over here, and then we're gonna come back to 0, -1. Like, we gotta put them in there, like, like,
and then the roller coaster emoji, like,
exactly, like, yes, exactly. So yes, okay. So what I want to talk about this week, which I feel like we haven't talked about in a while, is as we go through the things that we did last week, and Portia, if you feel comfortable, drop in the chat what your goals were for last week. I know your word was build. So yes, as we go through like what we did last week, I want to talk about what are some of the things that we believe are blocking us from completing something that is showing up on our list over and over. Right? Like my goals last week were securing funds for closing, updating my resume and responding to recruiters, pitching one podcast and one conference, studying and implementing. Studying implementing some copywriting and learning a new skill, and then going to bed at 10 p.m. Right. And I was able to get through, responding to recruiters. I pitched multiple podcasts and multiple conferences. I did learn a copywriting skill. I was implementing that. And I actually did go to bed on time during the week, but the weekend, honey, I was off the rails. Okay. Just as both Portia and Zeno, I was texting y'all at 2 a.m. like, y'all got to watch this video. Oh, Ellie, you got the video too. Okay. Everybody got that video. I expect y'all to watch it. Conversations to come. But
which one was it?
I did not update my resume, right? And I did not secure funds for my closing. Now I did follow up about the closing, but I did not secure funds. And I feel like for me, this resume thing, I really think what's blocking me from updating my resume is that I don't want no job.
There it is. There it is.
And breathe. I really think, yes, girl, I should have been in bed. I really think that, okay, so last year, I was laid off in June. I started this entrepreneurial journey in June. Up until probably October, I was still on my, what's it called? What's the thing, the money they give you?
Your
severance. Exactly. I was still on my severance. My husband started working, blah, 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 blah. So financially, we are stable. Now, we're not where we used to be, but we ain't in the struggle. Okay. And we're able to still do the things we need to do because I've learned some ways to do that. But I want to get, like, there's a yearning in me to get back to where we used to be. Right? Because that's comfortable, right? And it's the norm. But there's also something in me like double down. Like the time you spend in looking for jobs is the time we can be building this business. And one of the things that I learned last week was meet more people, meet new people, right? And it's something that I know that I've even seen it with Z, right? And her business, like meeting new people and connecting with the same old people, right? Are opportunities that you don't even know about. And it's not something that I'm leveraging. I feel like I'm heavily leveraging like social media, right? And that's not the basis of building a business, really. So yeah, so I feel like I'm doing like the bare minimum with this job search because I'm just like, something in me is like, you are not supposed to be looking for a job right now. Like, but then at the same time, I also do not want my husband to have to be working the way he's working. Like, so what I did last week was I talked to him about altering his schedule a bit so that he is splitting his hours across more days. So it's not as a heavy a schedule on him, which is something that he's going to implement to see if that helps. Because that's really, I think, one of the things that feels pressuring to me to get a job is because I don't want him to have to work so much and him to be so tired and just all of these things. But then there's the other side of me that is just like, but this is not what you're supposed to be doing right now. So F this resume.
So what do you need in order to move forward with that? Because you already just said what you want. Like, I mean, and whose voice is that?
Whose voice is who?
What fear is that? That's telling you, well, you need to get your resume because you need the whatever's stopping you. Whose voice is that? And
I feel like it's a combination of both mine and his.
Okay.
Right? Because I think he knows that, if I start working, we're going to be at a whole different level. And there's a lot of things that we are actually be able to do. Like, and technically one of the reasons why we were wanting to do this was because when we get to the end of our property, we wanted to be able to refinance it, but we're not even refinancing it anymore. We are selling it. So it's not needed. Also for me, I know that there's some things that we want to do later this year, right? Whether it be trips we want to take, we want to move, and being able to have income from me makes that assured as opposed to a question mark, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that is what's in my voice, but then in his voice is just like, yo, like this is a crazy schedule, like with just me working, you know, like, so I think it's a bit of both. So I think, you know, I don't know, like I'm just like the energy with which to find a job is a job, and I'm like, I have two jobs. I have a real estate business and I have my travel coaching business, like, and I'm a mother. Okay, that's a job. So I got three jobs. Okay. And I do not have time to try to find another job. Although I feel like the other job will potentially help financially, but it's just gonna be another job. Ain't none of the other ones gonna go away when I get this new one. So it's gonna be fun. Okay.
It sounds like you know what you want to do. You just got to give yourself permission to do it and come up with solutions for the other things, or be okay with sacrificing some of those things. Like,
yeah,
what are you going to sacrifice? Are you going to sacrifice your business? Are you going to sacrifice a trip? Are you going to sacrifice some time? What are you going to sacrifice? Because something you're going to lose or delay something. I don't want to say even say lose. You're going to delay something, but you got to decide which one you're willing to delay.
I do not know. And that's actually something I need to think about. Because, you know, I'd be like, but we still going to do it all. Like,
oh,
yeah, but
that's what you need to tackle then.
But we still going to do it all. Like,
you will, and you will, just maybe not in the timeline that you
right.
put on yourself.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. It's okay. It's okay. She didn't have to drink it. Okay, so that's something I need to think about this week is what well, first of all, I also need to have a conversation with him, but I also need to think about like what am I willing to sacrifice?
To delay. I don't like sacrifice. Makes it seem like
okay, delay. Yes, delay.
What you meant to delay. You're gonna get all of the things. They'll all happen.
Yes.
Just free yourself of the timeline that you put in your head.
Yes.
And that could be the timeline that you put in your head for your business, or maybe going to getting a job may make sense. And just delay things for your business, or maybe it's doubling down on your business and delaying a trip, or maybe it's and what does that come with? Is I mean, is altering his schedule going to be enough? You know, is it delaying? You know, being able to spend time? Are you asking him to hold on for 2 more months or 3 more months or what? You know, but it's just going to delay things. But it's you don't have to give up.
Okay, I'll come change it in a little bit, true. Okay, this makes sense. Yeah. Okay. So anybody else have anything? Oh, Portia said, hold up. Okay, Portia, we're gonna get to these goals in a minute. But she went on the momcation last week. Yes. Okay. Come on, clock out Wednesday. We done. Z about to do the same thing on Wednesday.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Urgent need for a potential client. Okay, all right. So this is fine. Yes, because lives. Okay, so these are the things.
Wait, but her comment, yeah, get to the wow comment because she's talking to you.
Oh, okay. She said, sounds like you freed up time to make your own decision. Girl, come on. Okay, so, all right. Listen.
You know, accountability call is going to push you in the direction that you truly want to go in.
Yes.
Like, we can't hear none of those fears that's in your head. We know they may be there, but like we can't hear them. We can only see your greatness. We can only hear what you're telling us. And we're like, oh, it sounds like this is what you really want to do. So like,
and the crazy thing is, Portia, Z said time. She said time to double down, as Z said. And my word last week was double down.
Double down.
Remember that?
It was for 2 weeks, wasn't it?
Was it?
I think you did Double Down 2 weeks.
No, it couldn't have been because Double Down came from the podcast I talked about last week.
Oh, I thought you doubled.
Yeah, I think the other one was reps or something. I had two in a row or something like that.
Okay.
Listen.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all right.
I know I'm being here doing all this extra talking. Like I ain't got 11 o'clock every time. Okay.
My bad. I forgot. Okay, go.
Which it's my bad. I was talking. Like, girl, shut up. Girl, shut up. Okay, so I had secure location for the truck driving school. Number 1, did not do that. Number 2, 100-fold consulting, continue to prospecting. I did some of that, but there's good news. I did book a gig with like a really, really big client, like a company that I used to work for, client. So very excited about that. Number 3 was kids' school and parenting. That took up the whole week. Okay, baby. That's the only one on the list. Every day. And the 30. I mean, there was some days I did it, but child, by the time we got about Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it was like 15-minute, you know, it just kept decreasing. But I love the question you asked around why certain goals continue to show up. So for me, securing the location for the truck driving school, that keeps showing up. Why? Because I'm still learning how to ask for help. Like, I will do it in certain spaces, but my default is to try and figure it out myself. It's very uncomfortable to have to ask for help. So I had an original location. I reached out to one of the local pastors, and he like they have kind of like a fellowship hall that they rent out. So the school will be fine there, but he wasn't 100% on letting us use his parking lot to drive the truck because for the parking road skills kind of piece, because it could damage the asphalt or whatever. So it took a lot for me to even ask for it, and I asked, and then it didn't kind of turn out the way I wanted. So the fact that now I have to go and ask someone else, I'm just like, my next ask was going to be for the pastor at my mom's church. But of course it's a different scenario where they don't typically rent out their fellowship hall. But they have gravel as opposed to asphalt. So I doubt that he would have an issue with me, with the truck. It's about now, do we have access? So that just requires me to then follow up to see, like, can we have the school in one place and the truck driving, the road skills piece in a different place. But like, I'm still having, the fact that now I got to go to someone else and ask them, because again, we're trying to keep the budget low, right? Like at least for the first 6 months before we actually start paying for a place that has kind of all of these things in play. So yeah, that thing keeps showing up on my list because I gotta keep asking folks, asking people for something. Like it's not like an exchange where it's like, hey, you rent out your space, how much it costs, this is how much it costs, I can pay it, done. It's like I'm asking you to do something that's outside of your normal course of business, and that makes me extremely uncomfortable.
Well, and I will say what and this is for you and for me, because that's the reason why I haven't done the other thing on my list, which is secure funds for clothing. Okay.
Yeah.
So for you and for me, what does asking for help mean about us, about you?
You're not gonna coach me today. Okay. So I actually had a whole breakdown last week too around like, what does asking for help mean? What does like having to say no mean? Like I say yes to all of the things, and like I say yes to all of the things, but I know that everyone else doesn't say yes to all of the things, and I don't want anyone to say no to me, because also those no's feel like rejection. Asking for help feels like weakness. No's feel like rejection. And I don't want neither one of those.
Neither.
You keep them both.
Neither. I don't want neither. I would agree with you. I feel like asking for help to me, and this is what's ridiculous about it, because we're gonna get to these thoughts. It means that I don't, like it's almost like I'm not as good as I think I am.
Oh yeah, I don't know what I'm doing.
Right. I don't know what I'm doing. Right. Or I messed up. And I don't mess up, boo.
Right. Okay. All of that.
Like, so like, it's just like, it's almost like it is a knock to my identity, like who I am. Like, this is how I move. And if I got to ask you for help, then that is like not me, because I don't need help.
Which is the biggest lie we've ever told ourselves.
Which is the biggest lie.
Which is also the thing that we're most frustrated with when we were like, well, ain't nobody help me with this. I ain't have anybody. But then we also don't ask for help. So I
like
the hypocrisy in it.
Yes, like
it's very hard to do something new.
Yeah, so it's almost like what is the new story we have to tell ourselves in the moment? Not even just tell ourselves, right? Because we're gonna talk about vulnerability. So what is the new stories we have to tell ourselves, but then also vocalize to the people that we're asking for help from, right? Because I know of myself, like I'll ask for help from a place of like, I'm asking, but I don't really need it. I'm gonna get it right back to you, right? Like no, you just need help, period.
Yeah.
Like, and just rest in the fact, like, I really need help. I thought it was going to be this way. It wasn't this way, right? It's not working out the way I wanted to work out, but, I'm still moving forward. I really need your help. Like, that just feels very uncomfortable to me. Like, ugh. But vocalizing it to other people, I think, is what is also going to help train us to stop telling ourselves the lie that we don't need help and that it is bad to need help. Like, I don't even feel, this feels very weird to me in my chest right now. Like,
oh girl, I'm tight. I'm all tight.
I'm just like,
this conversation got me hemmed up right now.
I can't, like, so, but this is generational. I talk about how, like, this is the strong back woman syndrome, honey. This is simmering all throughout. Like, so it's hard to do.
Yeah, I've been mostly listening because I was sitting here thinking about what I learned last week, and there were several things, but that trope definitely comes up again. I needed to move some dollars around for something and ended up having my dollars stuck. And now waiting for 2 weeks for it to get back to me, but I still need to send dollars to be able to get something to get started. And all I had to do was just ask a friend to just basically give me the dollars so I could go ahead and like send them off and over because I just got them back to pay them back. And I was just driving around trying to figure out how to send the dollars that I needed for something. Sorry, I have to be so vague because I can't talk about it yet. And it just took like one quick phone call and someone driving out to me in 15 minutes, and it got done in like 30 minutes after like 8 hours of me trying to figure out how to do it by myself. So I completely understand. And my friend had said something to me. It was just like, yeah, sure, I got you. I know you're good for it. And I'm just like, yeah, my character, my tribe, my people, like they know that if I am coming to them, when I realize that if I am coming to them and I say I do need help, then it's definitely like a for sure thing. And I'm moving in a way to like elevate myself. So I just have to keep reminding myself of that. And a second thing, I think one of the things that I tell myself to kind of like fight the trope in a sense that I now realize is that phrase of just like, who are you not to trust? Right? Like, not who are you not to trust your process of like evolving, your process of learning, your process of growing. Who are you to think that you can really do it by yourself? Almost like really checking my ego, because it's not wrong. It's not bad to have our ego and know that we can do something and that we always get something done, especially being the women that we are and like how we move. It's bad when we leave our egos unchecked. That's when it becomes dangerous. And I feel like us, saying that we can do it and then things just start falling apart. Like if I didn't call my friend, I could have just been justified in my anger of like nothing's working out for me. Look how much I'm efforting and trying to make this work. And I need to send these dollars to move forward this project, and it's taking 5 ever in a day. But I'm not over here leveraging the resources of a relationship that I built and put time in. I did that. So
come on, relationship you have built and put time into.
So like I should be able, I should have the vulnerability and the courage to be able to ask the people that I care about or the people that I know I can work with and
The
collaborate
way
with for
Z
dollars.
looks back just now.
Oh,
I felt like she was yelling at me, like,
I was
you
like,
got the vulnerability and the courage. And I'm like, girl, I ain't got it.
yeah, I was like, I put 10 years into this relationship. Well, I put 3 years into this relationship. Like, this is just one of the ways that I could harvest the fruit of the labor of like having good friendships and good professional relationships. So, yeah, I'm all about now, especially now, like I'm all about telling the truth. I'm just like, this is literally what's happening right now. Literally, all of our calls after today are all calls with people who I want to connect with, and I'm thinking about sending an email to my whole network about what's going on in my life, like blog style and like what I'm looking for. Do I want to do it? Not really, but should I? Yes. But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna send like an email to like my
Listen,
being like, hey, it's me, boo boos. This is what I've been up to. Subscribe to the channel and securing contracts right now. You know, anybody who needs support in this work, like let me know. Because why not? What do I have to lose?
Something that came up for me whenever talking about, tapping into those relationships, and asking for funds, to tie to the question that you asked, Inez, like, what does it mean? For me, asking my friends for money is a violation of the friendship.
mm, mm.
With the exception of about 1, 2, 3 people,
Count them.
one who's on this phone, on this call, and all 3 of us are in situations where we can't neither one of us help none of them. We all right. And so now when I think about relationships beyond that, like I literally feel like I'm violating the friendship if I were to call someone and ask them for money. Now, I don't even want to ask my family for money, but like that, I can almost work around. Like, okay. But just thinking about that, and like just thinking about like conversations that I need to have with people to be like, how do you feel about, lending money to friends? I know it's such a sensitive topic, and I truly value my friendships. Now, outside of that, because y'all ain't going nowhere, y'all stuck with me, whatever, but ain't none of us got it right now. So if I were to look outside of that, there are people who I'm like super, super close with, but I feel like I will be violating the friendship, and I would never want to do anything that could bring any type of issues, because money is sensitive. People don't play about their money.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah, when I think
I'm
about
co-sign on everything you just said. Yes, everything you just said. But this is what I'm realizing, and I realized this, and I didn't believe it. Last year, when we got scammed, not even last year before last, we got scammed out of $43,000. The people who showed up to help us get that money back, to give us the money, who lent us the money, were not in the 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, because the 1, 2, 3, 4 ain't happening. I'm sorry, girl.
Right.
I listen to
like, and this is it, and it don't even matter. Like, but the point is, you don't know how people see you.
I won't stop yelling at me today.
Okay.
You're right.
You don't even know. You don't even know how people see you. Like, you have decided, like, these are the people who see me this way.
Right.
These are the people who trust me. These are the people who love me to that level. No. No. Lies. Okay. Like, so that is like, and it's very hard because to East's point, you poured into these relationships for years, but you're not really willing to leverage them. Because when I think about, like, the person who I want to secure funds from is my, family member, like, raised me, right? And so, like, but also has seen me, right? They know who I am. They know my reputation. They know how I show up. They know what I do, However, I still don't want to lean on the relationship because I don't want them to view me a certain way. But it's like, that's impossible. Like, because this is just not how I move, right? If I'm moving this way, then it's a real reason for it. Okay. Like, that's number one. And number two, I don't even know how they see me. Right? Like, they've done it before. Like, so, like, obviously it's a thing. And I'm still like hesitating. Like, Eve talk about wasting my time being stressed out because I ain't even asked the question. Girl, why?
Yeah.
So, honey, this is gonna be our journey this year. I feel like is asking for help. Like, just honey, that might be one of our self-care goals. Okay.
What did you ask me
Self-care.
this week?
No
Seriously.
fact. I think we really should. I think we should.
Self-care goal. Who did you ask for help from this week? And I don't mean a little bit of help. I mean a lot of help that was uncomfortable to ask for. Okay, like
I'm uncomfortable with you placing it out there. I mean, I get it and I see the benefit, but girl, it's a lot.
oh, it is. Okay. Yeah, y'all. I feel like we needed this week, like, because baby, it ain't accountability if it ain't uncomfortable. Okay. Of course, they're laughing at us, honey. It ain't accountability if it ain't uncomfortable. Okay, Z, do you have your goals written? Because I know you got to go in a second.
I have a call out of
I didn't
right
write it because my goals this week are mostly domestic. I don't like to come home to a dirty house after a trip. And my clothes have been attacking me in every room, laundry room, closet. So there's some order that needs to be established prior to leaving. So that's one, kind of like cleaning out, reorganizing my closet as I'm packing, just so that I know where all of the things are. And folding clothes, washing and folding clothes. It's always the clothes. Also kind of secure a new school for my daughter. And I say secure meaning take the steps because I don't know how quickly that can happen. And my self-care is to get on that flight. Make that flight and get on up out of here. Get up out of here. So
my bad. I pressed the wrong button. I was so excited. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, that'll be my 4 for the week.
Come on. I love it. Okay. And what's your word?
The word is going to be, I don't know why order came up. Like just like
order.
Establish order. Like there got to be some order to things.
I love it.
So yeah, I think order is going to be mine.
I love that. Okay, Eve, what are yours?
Last week I did all the things, hopefully. The Secretariat of the company call Inez. I said I was gonna do keep the vegan herbal flex up, which I did. And meal prepping and stuff like that, which is really good.
Finalize your strategy with the tenant.
Yep, did that. That was definitely a lesson. Kindness versus niceness. Learn the difference. Okay, so that's done.
You sold your assets.
Yes, I did. I'm getting ready to sell some more.
You were supposed to read a book and release some videos.
Release some videos. One is doing very, very well. Read a book. Got started. Need to finish.
Okay. So what are you doing this week?
This week I am going to write a case study for a research project that must get done. I don't feel like I want to do it. I feel like I have no motivation to do it because I want all my prospects to be like, oh yeah, let's talk, and then I'll be like, then I'll do it. So, but I need to get over it. So I'm gonna do my UX research case study. I'm going to send a email to everyone in my network, updating them about my life and what I'm doing for business. Continue the vegan herbal flex. I feel like I'm in a good pace about it. And
what's your self-care?
The vegan herbal flex.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And last but not least, follow up on prospects.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And Eve, I'm gonna let you think about your word. My goals are again secure the funds. Inez. Ask for the help. Go to bed as usual. That's self-care. Go to bed at 10. I also one of my goals is to celebrate Tawanda, who is my husband. His birthday is on Thursday. So I'll be celebrating him this week, and then I need to get my kids healthy so that they can not be in my home during the day, so I can do my work. Um, and the other thing is, I want to really get into like um it's something around my business, but I don't even know. Just around lead generation. Like I want to focus my attention. I have a conference for my business on Friday that's all about lead generation. So I want to focus my energy on that. So I'm gonna just put lead generation, which also can be like, meeting new people. And actually that might be at the top of my list is meeting new people. And my word for the week is help.
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 Yes.
Yes. Be helpful, get help. Okay. Um, yeah, that's the word for the week. Eve, what about you?
I'm gonna continue with I've been saying certainly receive and receive certainly, and I've been loving that energy.
Honey, if it's good, then we keep doing it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I certainly receive.
Okay. Clarity. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Yes. 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 Okay, ladies. We have done it. We have done it in record time, even with the extra today.
Extra necessary though.
Y'all tune in again next week. Portia, drop your word for the week down there if you want to drop your goals. Thank you for tuning in with us today. And your commentary has been helpful. Okay. I'm gonna get it together. I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do. Okay. And we will see y'all next Monday.
Bye y'all.
Bye.